began to talk about, what was on my mind, but we also began to talk about funny stuff we had done. And I can't explain it, but I felt better.
Yeah.
I felt better, and I was able to preach that Sunday morning because I was down in the Mully Grub so bad that night, I didn't know how I was going to be able to get up and preach that Sunday morning.
Right.
And just the conversation, I love to have conversations with good friends.
I enjoy it. I enjoy people. I just. What do you like to eat at Dollywood?
At Dollywood, I don't know the name, but they're like the big hot dogs, the
Right.
German hot dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it when they do the Festival of Nations.
Right.
My mouth's watering. Right? My mouth just literally watered on camera.
You ever eat the beans and greens?
Yes, I have. I love that. I love that.
Okay, let me tell you a story, okay? Because you'll realize who you're sitting next to. All right, the beans and greens, I went to eat there, spent a while back, and they come out with the cornbread that used to be it was in the big pan, the big cast iron skillet.
Right.
Well, they come carrying these little old corn fritter things out to me on the plate. And I said, hey, what's the deal? They said, well, that's what we're serving now. I said, in America? Right here at Dollywood? Yes. I said, what about the big cast iron cornbread? Nope, no more of those. I said, well, huh. So I got my camera out and took some pictures of it. Went back home, went on the Dollywood site, started posting. I said, what has America come to? Is it that poor? Are we in that bad a shape that we can't have the cornbread no more? And I shared this. And just shared it, and I went on Dollywood site, and I tagged Dolly herself in it, and I tagged everybody. Dollywood went all their passes, went all of them, tagged it all. Had 3,000 people respond.
Man,
it was everywhere. Okay, and then some people were a little upset because they said I said, listen, here's the deal, the cornbread is gone.
Right.
So the VP of Dollywood contacted me and messaged me and said, John, I want to talk to you. We've seen what you said, and we'd like to rectify it. And I said, well, there's no sense in us talking. Right. If you ain't going to change it, why do we want to talk?
Right.
Well, so he gave me his number. And anyway, so we messaged back and forth. He said, John, I spoke to the culinary staff, and we've made the change back. So
that's awesome.
Everybody's eating cornbread in Dollywood should say, thank you, John.
Thank you, John. You
should pray over your meal, but then at the end say, thank you, John, for the cornbread.
That's exactly right.
And I was so glad that they done that corporation.
Right.
They heard, and they come back and responded.
Right.
They didn't just blow us off,
right.
blow off people. And people began to run. They said, we love that cornbread.
Yes.
And I know it's a simple thing, but I mean, and I found there's such a power when you come together.
When you come together.
Now, man, this thing out here is dangerous. You can come together over good and bad and say, hey, what about this?
Oh, yeah.
And there's something about it.
But that, to me, that's using it in a positive way.
Exactly.
There's this restaurant we like to eat at in Gatlinburg called The Peddler.
Right, I know that.
And they had this, it was called Christie's Chocolate Cake.
Okay.
And it was like ambrosia. It was like God, it was what manna tasted like.
Right, right.
They changed it. After us eating it for 5 years, they changed it. We weren't social media savvy, but we just started complaining.
Right.
And they said, you are the 5th complaint we have had today about this.
Right.
And so the next time we went, we were a little bit disheartened thinking they had changed it back.
See?
They had changed it back.
You got to make it known.
Yes.
Okay, because those businesses are about making money. And if you start as a customer, you start saying, and other people feel the same way in that thing. But anyway, I wanted to throw that in and get a plug in for me because cornbread is there because of my sacrifice. Okay, if I've never accomplished anything in my life. And I went back and took pictures of the cornbread, posted it, thanked them, thanked everybody, said, here's what has been done. Thanked the Dollywood staff and thanked all of them. And I said,